It's the most wonderful time of the year in New York City, and that means there's tons of fun things to do and check out, which can be overwhelming, but we're going to make it easier for you and show you what the best things to do are around town to get you into the holiday spirit. First, let's take a look at what's happening in Manhattan. NBC New York's Kay Angrum gives us the scoop on the country's most iconic Christmas tree.
Now, some people might not know that every year it is a new tree, but this year's tree is an 80-year-old Norway spruce from Vestal, New York. So here are some hashtag tree facts you definitely won't forget.
This year's Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is 80 feet tall. That's almost the size of one tennis court, or a quarter of the Statue of Liberty,
or 480 plain bagels stacked up one by one.
Now, the weight of the tree is approximately 12 tons. That's almost equivalent to 4 white male rhinos, and slightly heavier than the giant blue whale at the Museum of Natural History.
Or the weight of one anchor commonly used on cruise ships.
It's 43 feet wide, or the height of one Brachiosaurus. Once selected and cut down, it traveled 200 miles to get here for all to see.
The tree is exciting. It's just fun. It brings the beginning of Christmas.
The very first tree went up Christmas Eve 1931, when construction workers building Rockefeller Center put up a 20-foot tree of their own.
It was decorated with paper garlands, strings of cranberries, and even a few ornaments too. But it wasn't until 1933 that the official tree ceremony began, and the rest, as they say, is history.
This year's tree will be decked out in 50,000 lights, 5 miles of wire, and one 9-foot, 900-pound Swarovski star made of 3 million crystals.
Now, the cool part is that folks have until January to come and see the tree in person. For more fun ideas on how to make the most out of your New York holiday, head to NBCNewYork.com. Happy holidays!
Nothing kicks off the holidays more than lighting the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. Here are some tips for visiting the area from expert tour guides.
Generally, what I tell folks, instead of coming in from like the 5th Avenue side, where it just gets crazy, especially with the Saks Light Show, I found that it's much easier to come in from the 6th Avenue side and just wander in along one of the side streets. And then that gets you pretty close up to the tree where you can see some good views of it without as much traffic.
Weekends are always going to be busier in New York City. The crowds around the Christmas tree, it's pretty overwhelming. The later you go is always the better. And if you can go on a weekend, that is always a great idea. But expect that when you come to New York around the holidays, there are going to be crowds. If you catch those off-peak hours, things will be better. But on the flip side of that, try to embrace it all. Be kind to your neighbor next to you. Say Merry Christmas. Smile at that little child looking up at awe at the Rockefeller Christmas tree. You will spend a lot of your vacation time sitting in traffic if you are taking Ubers or you are taking taxis. Uber prices change during the holiday season. There's surges depending on the time that you're going out and depending on the time of year. The New York City subway is the best way to get around.
And little known fact, but New York City's very first Christmas tree actually wasn't here.
Before we had Rockefeller Center, there was Madison Square Park. And this was actually the site of the very first public Christmas tree in New York. A very kind of upscale socialite in 1912, really kind of empathized with the plight of the poor. And only wealthy people had Christmas trees. I mean, this was a luxury to have a tree in your home. And she thought Christmas should be for all New Yorkers, whether rich or poor. And she would erect the first public Christmas tree.
One of the most popular things to do during the holiday season is check out the holiday markets, like the Winter Village in Bryant Park. NBC New York's Ashley Chaparro went on an amazing food crawl to taste all the delicious bites so that you know what to eat this holiday season.
The Bank of America Winter Village at Bryant Park is back this year, and let me tell you, it's foodie heaven. Here's everything we tried. So we kicked things off at Hell's Kitchen Paella.
So traditional paella can have, people think of it as seafood, but it can have chicken, it can have chorizo, different types of meats. But it's basically a stewed rice dish that has a saffron base. So saffron, really good olive oil. Ours, we do a chicken paella for our purposes here, and we also do a seafood paella, and we can do them spicy or not spicy, depending on your tastes.
Up next, cheesesteak by the Truffleist. This one is super hot. You've probably seen it all over your TikTok. And the clear star of the show here is the Truffleist cheesesteak. Only 20 are made a day.
So the Truffleist cheesesteak is our base, which is seared ribeye steak, caramelized onions, sauteed peppers. We have a beautiful blend of mutts and provolone cheese. And then it's toasted rustic bread. So that beautiful cheesesteak meat mixture, topped off with melted raclette, homemade bechamel cheese sauce, torch foie gras, and then shaved truffles, and then finally finished with some alpine flowers.
The Truffleist brand, as is, actually got started as a gift for friends and family.
I was having dinner parties a lot when I first started the brand, and I made cheesesteaks at a dinner party, and then someone was like, yo man, where's the truffle hot sauce? Where's the truffle honey? And it actually just happened quite naturally.
And family was a big theme at our next stop, Laksa Shop.
So at Laksa Shop, we're serving laksa, which is a Malaysian curry noodle soup. We're serving two versions, regular traditional version that has the shrimp and chicken stock, served with shrimp and fish balls on top, and then a vegetarian version that can also be made vegan. The soup base is a shiitake mushrooms with a miso flavor in there, but both of them were Malaysian curry flavors.
That's amazing. That sounds so good.
Yeah,
and a lot of those flavors were definitely inspired by family.
Yes.
By mom. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so the curry that we use in our in Laksa Shop's Curry Laksa is actually from Mama Lamb's curry paste, which is a brand that my mom and I started, and it's her recipe for the curry paste and the hot sauce.
For our last savory bite, we went to Migrant Kitchen. They serve, listen to this, Middle Eastern Latin fusion food, and their main goal is to celebrate the diversity that makes our city so special.
Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Mi nombre es Carla, soy ecuatoriana. Hace 7 años llegué a este país en busca de un sueño y lo estoy logrando.
Comida siempre une familias, une culturas. No importa el lenguaje, pero si hay comida, hay felicidad.
Esto ayuda y es muy importante para no olvidarse de las culturas de donde venimos.
Parte de la misión de Migrant Kitchen ha sido de que ha donado comida a gente que necesita, y eso prácticamente es la base de esta compañía, porque hasta la vez ha donado alrededor de 4.5 millones.
And you know we had to satisfy our sweet tooth, and we did just that at Casa Toscano, an Italian bakery serving up the goods.
One thing that I love to serve here in Bryant Park is our Italian bomboloni.
Oh my goodness.
And our Italian hot chocolate. What I compare always, our chocolate, I compare it to a beautiful glass of red wine, because our chocolate is very, very thick. Okay. It really, really, really feels and tastes like you will eat like a chocolate bar.
The Bryant Park Market is open Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. through January 2nd.
I'm Master Chaparro for NBC New York. The sights and sounds of New York City during the holidays are quite unique, and one of the most beloved traditions are the holiday window displays. Come with me as we go take a tour. First up, get ready to experience the brilliance of Bergdorf Goodman's majestic window displays. This year's theme? Isn't it brilliant? An ode to all things brilliant, from neon lights to fantastic ideas. To showcase this year's theme, the windows at the luxury retailer feature a breathtaking array of lights, mirrors, and awe-inspiring designs.
Here we came up with, isn't it brilliant? And that means anything bright and brilliant, all things bright and beautiful, bright ideas, bright lights, bright decorations, bright materials. And every single one of our windows focuses on a different type of brightness. The one behind me right now is literally bright because it's an amazing collection of neon signs. But we like to put a lot of symbolism in our windows, so every one of these signs has something to do with thinking or being bright. We even have a mannequin here that has a light bulb over her head. So what we're really trying to do here not only is put on a good show, we're trying to dazzle everybody and surprise everybody.
As in years past, the windows were developed in-house with a group of artists and experts in their crafts and took months, if not close to a year, in the making. A common reality among the popular holiday window displays across New York City.
Windows are designed in-house here. We have a window department at Bergdorf Goodman. We design them. We are lucky in New York City to have amazing production companies and artists and freelance craftspeople. Everybody we need within an area here in New York City that can bring all these fantasies into 3 dimensions.
Next up, Saks, and its one-of-a-kind partnership with the fashion house Dior. Together, the two transformed Saks' New York City flagship store's windows into delightful scenes depicting Dior's arrival from Paris to the Big Apple in 1947. However, the piece de resistance is Dior's Carousel of Dreams, a massive 10-story light and sculpture installation that puts on a breathtaking light show every 10 minutes to those walking along Fifth Avenue.
It was about 8 months ago when we first had the idea of partnering. It's the first time Saks has ever had a brand partner with us for the holiday season. And we thought Dior would be ideal because they're all about magic and workmanship and beauty, and they could bring something to the holidays that we'd never seen before. So, you know, we're from New York, we like to go big, and they allowed us to sort of go bigger than we've ever gone before. You know, you've got these incredible windows that have this immaculate detail down to the millimeter, and then you have on the front of the building just the biggest, most ambitious display we've ever done before. So it's really a gift to the city for us to do something with such scale and really such beauty in partnership with Dior.
For our next stop, it's time to step into a sweet world thanks to the colorful and whimsical display at Bloomingdale's flagship store on 59th Street. This year's theme is Best Holiday Ever and is inspired by the look, feel, and magic of Wonka. The bright windows feature oversized candies, chocolates, and sweet delights inspired by the film. And for our last stop, what would a holiday window display tour be without Macy's?
This year's theme is all about give love, and we follow the journey of our lovable reindeer Tiptoe and her friends. So Tiptoe was launched in 2020, so this is her 3rd year in the Macy's windows. And this year we're celebrating all of Tiptoe's favorite holiday moments. So each window represents one of her favorite holiday moments that she's celebrating with her friends.
Macy's installations over the past few years have taken into account the ever-changing world we live in when it comes to technology, allowing visitors the opportunity to take selfies and even perform a Christmas carol for onlookers. The idea of welcoming the social media age is something that window designers are now considering when coming up with display ideas, since a photo of a window can be seen by millions across the world in mere seconds.
You have to see it through the lens of the photos that people are taking. So when we're planning on the windows, we're also planning on how they're going to show up in photographs and cameras and video.
Today's windows, while grand and designed with social media in mind, continue a tradition that started over 100 years ago known as window dressing, a tradition that is still captivating audiences with mesmerizing sights filled with lights and intricate designs. Reporting for NBC New York, this is Jennifer Vazquez.
It's magic. It's a marriage between math and art and some science. And many of these have stories to go with them, who folded what, how we got it from all over the world.
For those who don't know, what is the origami tree?
It's a traditional tree that we've been putting together, but this is the 52nd one.
52nd since 1971.
A lot of the stuff you see made here is made from near and far, amateur to professional.
The 13-foot origami holiday tree features thousands of specially hand-folded paper models depicting classic museum finds, like the blue whale and woolly mammoth. The tree is produced in partnership with Origami USA, a national nonprofit dedicated to the art of paper folding.
I'm curious, when do you start working on the tree, or when does your group start folding and creating the pieces?
We start plotting and planning the day we're taking it down. And then we get information from the museum about new exhibits that we could focus on.
So this year, because of the the new special exhibit, The Secret World of Elephants, it was a natural thing for us to tie into that.
How many pieces are on this tree besides elephants?
At least 2,000, if not more.
Yeah. So we're going to fold one of our favorite simple elephants, and it's called the trumpeting elephant. Origami, whether you're folding it or just seeing it, it's just going to make you happy. And that's all of the reasons we are involved with the tree as well.
Javier Sanchez is a man who wants everyone to embrace the spirit of the holiday season.
There's so much joy on their faces, and it really pays off all this hard work into the village. It is a lot of joy. I take people back to their childhood.
Easy to walk by his Upper East Side workshop, an underground parking garage beneath the Continental high-rise apartment building on 79th and 2nd.
I had to take a double take. It was fabulous. I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you.
For 13 years, between parking cars, he sets up and designs an annual lavish holiday display.
It's amazing. Mama. Yeah, you tell Mommy you come to see the lights? Yeah. It's so awesome.
Hundreds of volunteer hours, including his days off.
More trains, a new waterfall.
He splits between $2,000 and $3,000 in cost every year between himself, colleagues, and donors.
There's so much joy on their faces, and it really pays off all this hard work into the village.
A river flows through it, a ski lift flies over it, and it is all handmade, direct from the heart. Javier, quick to say, this is a display for everybody. In fact, the first thing you see when you come down the ramp is this Hanukkah display, and he designed these ornaments to form the letter U. U standing for unity.
I think it is a very special way to celebrate and be all in one piece of unity.
And in Brooklyn, Coney Island's Luna Park is open for the first time in its 120-year history for the winter season.
Hello and Merry Christmas from Santa Claus at beautiful Luna Park's Frostfest. That's right, first time the park is open in over 120 years in the winter. And the big guy's here. Oh.
For those who don't know, talk to us about what is Frostfest.
Welcome to Frostfest, Linda.
Yes, thank you.
First time ever that Coney Island is open in the colder months. It's really a historic activity. It's a historic event. It's a lot of fun. So it's really the best of the amusement park in connection, with all the best, festive activities. So we have ice skating, we have a Santa's workshop, you can take a picture, we have delicious treats, delicious drinks, we have the rides, we have millions of lights, so really the best entertainment open air activity in New York City.
When did you start with the idea of doing Frostfest, and how did that come about?
So we had a great success with a previous activity called Halloween Harvest in the fall.
Yes.
And that really kind of motivated us to say, okay, we have a great support from the local community. A lot of actually, all of our local, the neighbors were asking, can we have something, for the colder months? Think about it, not many people can go to Rockefeller Center, can go to Bryant Park, in Manhattan. So we have a holiday market, set up. And the best part is that we are really in partnership with local small businesses. So we have retail vendors, we have food and beverage, delicious food and beverage options. I'm originally from Italy, and I think I tasted the best panettone ever. For people who like panettone, I definitely encourage them to come and check that out.
Panettone is an Italian holiday bread. So in Italy, it's customary to eat it during the winter, during the holiday season. My mother always says she married my dad because of his panettone.
My shop has the best cannolis, and I might be biased because I was born and raised making / eating them.
And we make them to order because no one likes a soggy cannolo.
Here we have cannolis, we have bombolone, we have cookies for Santa if you want to bring him any, or if you want to eat them yourself. And then we have panettone, and then we also have our Nutella panettone. There's nothing better than Nutella, so it being stuffed in panettone is
And also the local businesses outside the gates too. I'm sure it brings in a lot of local tourism, which is helpful for the community.
Absolutely, again, something that again we are very, very proud of being able to really open, activate, South Brooklyn, specifically Coney Island, even in the colder months, because usually, again, many people think about just about the summer, but no. Luna Park is open in the spring, it opens through the summer, in the fall, and now even in the winter. So really looking forward to many New Yorkers to come and check this special event.
All right, great. Alessandro, let's check it out. I can't wait.
Let's check it out.
Let's do
Are you
it.
ready to go on the cyclone?
Yes, I'm ready to go on the cyclone.
Yes. Let's go.
I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas from Luna Parks! Oh, I was going to almost say, I messed that one up. Frostfest, wait, take that part out, cut that part out.
Rockefeller Center, forget about it.
Decked out to the max. A New York City neighborhood that's taking Christmas decor to the next level. Welcome to Dyer Heights.
So Dyer Heights, which is known this time of year as Dyer Lights, was started by one strong-willed woman. Her name is Lucy Spada. She moved to this neighborhood in 1986 from Bensonhurst. She wanted to continue the tradition, just like her mom did, of decorating for the holidays. The people in this very quiet enclave of Dyer Heights were not happy about the traffic that the lights were causing as people slowed down to see them. And so when they complained and came and knocked on her door, her response was, "You don't like it, move."
Very New York.
Oh, totally, totally, and very Brooklyn.
And she wants to continue this tradition for years.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There is a stipulation in her will that nobody gets this house unless they decorate it for Christmas every year. Not her kids, not her grandkids, nobody.
And so you decorated this home.
Yes,
How long did it take you to decorate?
a week and a half,
How many lights would you say are surrounding this home?
depending on which light you're looking at.
In total, all lights included.
No, probably 1,000.
And we're from London in England, and we're having a fabulous time over here.
So this is your first time in New York in Dyer Heights?
First time Dyer Heights, yeah. We've been to New York before, but first time here.
Yeah.
So what's it like being on this tour right now?
It's awesome.
Yeah, seeing the lights and Christmas.
Yeah,
it's
so
fantastic.
exciting.
It's kind of world renowned.
Instagram doesn't do it justice at all.
People from around the country and around the world. I mean, England, Germany, France, Italy, Scotland, Ireland, Denmark, Belgium. It's just unbelievable, and over the years, the press that comes to cover it has been just as amazing.
And just like that.
Hey, how you doing? Where are you from?
Belgium.
Belgium, see what we were just saying? Beautiful. Da che parte?
Belgium tourists appeared. The lights kick off November 30th and last until the first week of the new year.
For NBC New York, I'm Linda Gaudino. In the Bronx, it's not just the lions and giraffes that are popular at the world-famous Bronx Zoo this time of year. It's also the bright lights. Ashley Chaparro takes us for a visit.
We're here at the Bronx Zoo for their annual holiday light show featuring over 400 lanterns. Come check it out.
The animals come to life during the night this holiday season at the zoo.
Expect to see a tremendous amount of lanterns. We have over 400 lanterns in the display. They depict over 100 species of animals and plants that we work with here at the Bronx Zoo and also that we work with in the field.
64 new lanterns being featured this year, representing 9 new animal species. One of the new exhibits, The Enchanted Sea, celebrates bioluminescent creatures. It features LED swings, interactive floor projections, and a jellyfish light celebration.
I think the best part of holding this event is it allows people from the tri-state area, from the New York area, basically, and the local communities really to enjoy and experience the zoo in a different way. People are used to coming here in the daytime to look at the animals and the exhibits, but not a lot of people get to come here at night. And you experience the zoo at night, you see the lights, and again, all the lanterns, all these displays, they highlight species that we work to save in the wild and the places where those animals live in the wild.
6 trails that represent those places include Africa, Asia, the Forest of Color, Latin America, North America, and the oceans. The Wildlife Conservation Society's goal is to conserve the world's largest wild places in 14 regions. Those regions are home to around 50% of the world's biodiversity, according to WCS. You can learn about those animals and catch the light display now through January 7th.
Times Square becomes the epicenter of the world every year on December 31st. But how did that tradition of the ball drop start? Jennifer Vazquez looks at the history of the big New Year's Eve celebration.
Times Square, the crossroads of the world, a place so famous it has become known for its New Year's Eve celebration.
Not only for those in the Big Apple, but people across the globe.
But how did this location become the epicenter for this annual tradition? What if I told you it was not always the case?
For centuries, church bells have symbolized the ringing out of the old and ringing in of the new. Because of this, for many years, New York City gathered around Trinity Church in Lower Manhattan to hear the bells on New Year's Eve. According to the church's website, the tradition of gathering outside Trinity Church to listen to the bells toll to welcome the new year possibly began in 1698 when a bell was installed in Trinity's steeple. Through the years, the number of people coming out to see the ringing of the bell grew and grew until it became a major event leading to immense crowds around 1848. When the current church building was consecrated. However, the character of the Big Apple changed by the turn of the 20th century, thanks to a larger population and new infrastructure.
It dates back to 1904. 1904 was a pivotal year for New York City and for Times Square. It's when the subway first came to Times Square. The New York Times opened up their headquarters at One Times Square, and the name was changed from Longacre Square to Times Square. So to celebrate all of that, the New York Times had a huge party on New Year's Eve with 200,000 people. And it was said that they made so much noise that it was heard 30 miles away.
A few years later, in 1907, the beloved New Year's Eve ball made its grand debut, marking a tradition that's looked forward to by millions of revelers worldwide. Reporting for NBC New York, this is Jennifer Vazquez.
So many activities to choose from, and that's just to name a few. Head to NBCNewYork.com to find out what's happening in your area. I'm Linda Gaudino, wishing you a happy holiday from all of us here at NBC New York.